Hello, Professor Kent Lee here. Welcome back to my writing class. Since this class is called Advanced Academic Writing or Advanced Composition, Advanced Writing, the focus is more on academic writing. And in light of that, I'm going to talk today in this short video about your midterm. Aren't you looking forward to that? Excited? Yes, I hope you are. Fun, huh? Okay. The assignment. Well, since this is an academic writing class, mainly for juniors and seniors, third and fourth year students, and I think there are some grad students in this class sometimes, the class is kind of geared towards that. So what I usually do in this class is I let students use a paper from another class that they are doing in that same semester for this class. So there's a midterm and a final paper in this class. No exams. I don't like exams. Pointless. So for the final paper in this class, you can use the final paper from another class that you're taking. Sounds good? Because that's just practical. I'm not trying to be extra nice. It's just practical. It's a sensible thing for me to do as a writing teacher. It makes no sense for you to write just an extra paper just for my class when you probably need this class to help you with writing a paper in that other class. So in a different class, you're probably going to have to write some kind of a research essay, research paper, some kind of a full-length paper for the class. And you can use that paper for my class. I don't mind. It makes sense, actually. And I don't mind whatever topic it is. I mean, you could be taking an English literature class, and you could be writing your class paper about something like a novel, poem, poetry, literature topic. That's fine. Applied linguistics classes, education classes, science, engineering classes. I've read all kinds of papers, and I like reading all kinds of papers on all kinds of different topics. So I'm open to anything. So any class that you're taking where you're writing a paper, you can use that paper for this class. Now, after you do the midterm, you might decide I want to change my mind, and that's fine. But for the midterm, you're basically going to provide kind of the beginning of a paper. That's the most common option. There are a couple of other options for the midterm in this class. They're on the website, the class website. You can look that up, go there. But I think the best option is this. For the midterm in this class, due around kind of midterm week, what you're going to do is get started on that paper for your other class. It could be a class in your major, it could be just an elective class you're taking, a liberal arts class, whatever is fine. So pick a topic. At this point, you may not know much. Well, this is a good way for you to explore for the midterm. So you are going to start on a paper for your other class, use the midterm in my class as a way of getting started on it. So what you want to do is to start identifying a topic, a paper topic that you want to do for that other class, and get started on it. And you're going to write, probably for most of you, the best option is a literature review, and I'll explain more about that in another video. If I haven't already, I'm not sure which sequence I'll be posting these videos in the LMS. A literature review is where you look at published academic research on the topic you're interested in, say the topic for your class paper. You read some of the published academic research. So by literature review, I mean academic research that has been published and written about your topic. So you are basically going to write up an overview of, some of the key pieces of research on your very specific topic and evaluate them. Kind of put them together and evaluate them together. So relevant academic research that has been published on a specific research topic. That's what you're going to do for the midterm. The length requirements are probably going to be a few pages, a couple of pages, because it's like the beginning of what will be your final paper for that other class. And the final paper for that other class you can use for the final paper in this class. So the midterm is designed to help you get started on that. So no procrastinating. You need to find a topic, start finding sources and reading sources, and start writing now. At least now, start finding a topic. I mean, don't start writing now, but start finding a topic. Then hit the internet, hit the library, and find some sources that you can write about. And more about the literature review will be discussed in a separate video. But basically, it is like the beginning of what will be the final paper for your other class as well as for this class. You're basically going to find some sources, briefly summarize and evaluate, critique them, and in order to kind of get to the main topic, the main point, main objective of the final paper that you want to write this semester. So the midterm is really preparation for the final paper. This is the beginning of what will be the final paper. That's what it really is. So your best option is writing a literature review. So you'll have an introduction, then the main literature review section, and eventually that'll probably lead you to like stating, well, what's the main objective of the final paper? What will be the final paper later on? Or what's your main point, or your research question, or your goal, or where do you want to go with this? Now, for some of you, you might want to go a step further and take the proposal option. So 2 options for the midterm. One is a literature review, which would be appropriate for most people, especially if you're a college student in this department, in the English department. Now, if you're a graduate student and you're doing kind of deeper research stuff, maybe even some original research, what you can do is go a step further and choose a second option, which is a proposal. So a proposal will include a literature review, and I'll say more about this in another video, but then you're going to go on to talk about, well, how you're going to develop this, your main points in the rest of the paper. Or if you're a graduate student, and I think there are some graduate students in this class, the research project and the paper that's going to come out of that research project. So if you're a college student, you're not doing original new research, you're doing kind of a standard college research paper. If you're a graduate student, you're probably doing something that's closer to original research of your own, coming up with your own ideas. So 2 options for most students in this class, especially if you're just a regular college student, a literature review for whatever class. English literature, linguistics, education, history, science, engineering, whatever. Liberal arts, general education requirement course. For a graduate student, an original research proposal, which will include a literature review. And both of these things I will talk about in later videos. Even if you're not doing the proposal option, the later video on that will be kind of required viewing, because you might write something like that someday in your job, or somehow, or at least you need to be familiar with that genre of writing. A couple of notes. Of course, I'll post the actual assignment later in the LMS, including the exact length requirements, but I'm thinking at least a couple of pages and such. You're going to need sources, of course, and there are some grading criteria in the book. Grading criteria, I'll put them in the LMS announcement. You probably upload the document in the LMS. However, if you're using this paper for another class, maybe you don't want to upload it in the LMS for my class, because you might get flagged in your other class for plagiarism. I'm not sure if it'll work or not. It might say, oh, when you turn it in, the final version to the class for your other professor, the LMS might say, oh, you plagiarized it. Well, it's your same paper you're using for my class too. It would be fine if in the LMS you just type a note that says, I've sent it to you by email, and email it to me. Or if you're going to do it in a Google Doc, in your Gmail account, a Google Doc, this is tricky. You have to share the link with me and make sure that the permissions are set. You actually have to click on a couple of things. When you share a document in Gmail, Google Docs, that is, you have to first share it with somebody, and then actually there's something in that pop-up box, there's something down at the bottom where you have to change the permissions so that other people can actually view it. It might send me the link, but then I can't open it unless in that pop-up box you actually go down and change something to make sure that I can actually see it. It's really a two-step process in Google Docs. It's confusing. Sharing the link is just the first step. The second step is to also change the settings so that other people with the link can view the file. I know the Google Doc interface is not very good in that regard. It should be automatic. If it's emailing me a link to the file, it should make it so that I can view it, but it doesn't unless you actually change the file viewing permissions. So a cautionary note for that. Okay, I hope that kind of helps. So the other videos in this series, one will be on literature reviews, and the other will be on proposals, a short video on proposals, because it's based on the literature review. And maybe a couple of other options I'll mention on, and will be on the website too if you want. There are a couple of other options on the website, the class website, which are mainly more geared towards graduate students who might be taking this class. So that's it for now. Those are your options for the midterm. Specifics will be posted in the LMS. So good luck and enjoy your midterm. Take care. Goodbye.